Hello, everyone. I think we're all ready to begin. So, a warm welcome to all. It's wonderful to be together on a Tuesday. My name is Antoinette, and I'm the host of our Women Together sessions. And it is just wonderful to be back together. We have been coming together every week, pretty much, for the last couple of years. And it's wonderful to see what feels like old friends at this point. We know it's a community of practice, many of us coming together from a lot of different places all over the world. And definitely all over the United States. So it's wonderful to see everyone, and we can just type in the chat a little hello, where we're all coming from, and then we can move into our content today, which will really be diving into this topic of sitting with chaos. So that is maybe a strong way to say it, but sometimes it really does feel that way, sitting with chaos. So we'll do a little practice today. We'll turn to each other and connect with one another, which is really the magic of these sessions. So a warm welcome to all, whether you've been here time and again, or this is your first time, a warm, warm welcome to everyone as we land here together today. So I'll just read out some of the places that we're coming from, because it is fun to see. Let's see. We've got Ohio. Good to see some old friends. Good to see you, Bianca. And Sweden, wonderful. Long Island, Arlington, Mass, Boise, Mystic, Connecticut, welcome. Augusta, Georgia, Seacliff, Long Island, West Palm Beach, Florida, where it is summer. I'm sure we've been, it's interesting seeing us move through the seasons and the weather patterns, and just knowing, what it means to be here on Earth is also, really being with the seasons, and with the winds as they blow, and the snow as it comes, and the rains and the water and the ice. So, whatever it may be, we're all kind of in our own place, sharing with each other here. Let's see, sunny Toronto, Maine, Park Ridge, Illinois, Delray Beach, Florida. Oh, lovely. Huntington Beach, and just off an ocean front with a walk. Wonderful. New York City. So we're coast to coast, Vermont, Boulder, Colorado. Lovely. So I'm sitting here in Cortland Manor, New York. It was Lenape land, and really just connecting with the earth today. I feel very grounded, very connected to our lovely planet. And this past weekend got to be outside quite a bit, and even yesterday I'm just trying to find ways to stay connected with nature, stay connected with the trees and the land. And it really is quite a magical thing to be able to connect with each other through Zoom, to be able to bring that nature connection in here and to connect with each of you. So I'd like to invite us to just land here together. And the first way we do that is just a tiny practice. We often find that, if I go to a retreat, or if I go, further out and take a week or something like that, a vacation, that I can really, feel a centered connection, and then I go back into my regular life. And these tiny practices give us just a little glimpse into how we can just hold that center or that reconnect at any point in the day. So wherever you are, wherever you may be, just reconnecting today. Where am I? Just doing a little scan. So we'll start with this little practice, this little tiny practice, and then we'll do a couple of others today. So we'll do some journaling, we'll do some connection to self, and then connection to each other. So if you can get your feet on the ground, or at least feel a point of connection to the floor, just take a deep breath in and relax. You can lower your gaze or close your eyes. And just bring the breath to the body. Bring the awareness and attention to the breath. Just continue to follow the movement of the breath in and out of the nose, in and out of the nostrils. And then shifting the awareness of the breath moving in and out to the breath moving up and down. Up and down the body. Just letting go of anything that may have come before this moment. Just being fully here, feeling a sense of connection to the chair, the body. You can begin to slowly open your eyes and reconnect with the screen. And when you're ready, you can go to the top right corner and click on gallery view if you're in Zoom. And when you do that, you will be able to see most of us. So if you can go on video, now's the time. And for those of you on YouTube, I invite you to just continue to send a little warm, welcoming breath to yourself. And if you're here on Zoom, you can connect with maybe a few boxes. So just pick out a few boxes and just send some warm welcome to these wonderful faces, beings who are here. Oh, so good. That little moment of recognition, connection, just seeing each other, feeling each other, knowing that we're here, we're together, women together. Here we are. Wonderful. So good. Oh, I feel my heart just a little warmer in that little connection moment. So thank you for just connecting with each other and just noticing what it feels like to see and be seen, to feel and to be felt. Just knowing that we're holding that connection with each other in this little women together field that we have here. So beautiful. So today's session, sitting with chaos. I'd love to just hear what brought you here to this session. You can just type it in the chat and just share an intention for today. What do you hope to get out of this session, or what brought you here today? What do you hope to have happen, or what brought you here today? You can type that in the chat or in the comment section, and I will read a few out. And really, it's just a lovely way, once we kind of see and feel each other, to share our intention for being here and connect that up as a collective intention. So just being aware as you type in that we're all typing in. Beautiful. So always enjoy connecting with these amazing women, connecting into love and kindness, tools to organize my chaos, feeling stuck, need to just let go, rising above the fray of the day. Beautiful. Authentic connections. I'm here for the miraculous. Yes. Learning and appreciating to just be in the midst of the chaos in this world, sending metta to all. To sit in the center of the swirl, to have a way to recognize that I am behaving in chaos. Sharing. And then there's a word in Swedish, I believe, that I don't know how to say, but we'll take it to be an important reason for being here today. So let me just double check if we have any YouTube. I know we've had some hellos in on YouTube as well. So wonderful. That's what brings us here today. Hope for the future. Just sit and get fit. So we're doing our inner exercise. We're doing our reconnection, and this is just a wonderful way to share that many of us are sitting in the center of the swirl, as Kathleen said. You know that we are. There is a lot of chaos. One from YouTube, understanding that we are part of the chaos. And last week, you know, we, over the last few weeks, especially here in the United States, we've been seeing a lot of violence evolve. And last week, what we, and, you know, the violence has been increasing, but it's also, it also is something that we are seeing so much more. You know, we have so much easy access to really see what's happening. And the amazing thing, you know, when we did this presencing practice last week, is that we saw that when we're really present to what is happening, when we really see and we can see what's going on together, we can actually shift where we're operating from. So we shift where we operate from, which means that it's not me, just Antoinette acting. You know, last week I talked about meeting a stranger in CVS. You know, it's not just these, you know, Antoinette going to CVS, getting what she needs and leaving. It's an interaction with other people around me. It's an interaction with our communities. And when we are operating from a place of care and connection, it's going to come from a very different place than if we're operating from distrust and fear and a kind of closed down place. So last week we did a practice to kind of open our minds, open our hearts, and operate from a place of an open will, which is a sense of courage. So we opened up our capacity for curiosity, compassion, and courage. And when we did that, we actually started to open up into a new piece of conversation. I heard in our chat here towards the end, this conversation about, you know, when I see on the news someone that I perceive to be a monster, I see their actions as monstrous. I'm seeing them as outside myself. But what we also discussed is that there's an element of what we're seeing in that we're so appalled by, that's part of us as human beings as well, that it opens up something that reminds us that is in me as well. And what we wanted to open up this week is to just be able to sit with that chaos. That can feel chaotic. That can feel like a lot to hold the monster in ourselves, to hold the change that's constantly happening, to hold this increase of violence. And what we found is that it's, yes, turbulent times is what we're living through. And it can cause a lot of anxiety. We're seeing increases in mental health issues, you know, across the world, but definitely across the United States. And the other, you know, what we need to do is, you know, that we're sitting here and oftentimes we feel, oh, I'm holding this alone. That I have to, you know, I don't know about you all, but I sit here with the weight of the world on my shoulders often. And I sit here and I'm like, oh, what am I going to do about it? I need to do something about this. And if I could just do something, I don't know, I would be able to make it better, or I would. And then there's a part of me, you know, I'm trying so hard internally. And even if I've done nothing yet, you know, I have this part of me that's trying so hard and it feels like so much. And I can even feel right now my body just sweating a little bit more, like just like I can feel the connection to that desire so much that I immediately shut down. I think I get hopeless. There's nothing I can do. How can I take this on? And then I come to this group and we sit together, or these groups that, you know, we've been holding around the world, and we sit together and I look at each of you. And when we do this little practice of connecting, of feeling each other, oh, I can't tell you, I take a breath and I know that we feel it, you know, it's like this this collective breath, because I'm not alone. I'm not sitting there alone trying to change it by myself. And sitting with chaos is not something that I need to do alone. That these are turbulent times we're living in. It's not just turbulent Antoinette moment, and Antoinette doesn't know how to do it by herself. You know, it's actually part of being human. It's a part of our humanness to hold this together. And so, you know, we are experiencing change. All of us experience change in our lives, but we are also experiencing a shift in the world. You know, a shift in how we need to show up, and how our governance structures will operate, how our economic structures will operate. And you know, it's something that we might feel unprepared for, or that we can't do something about. And the reality is, by sitting together, Elizabeth just said in the chat, I think sitting in chaos just might be a call for action. And that's the thing, that when we sit with it and we really, you know, can feel what's happening, we act from a different place. We don't act from this individual, just me alone trying to make it happen. We actually act from a shared awareness. So we really find that action from a shared awareness. And it's also, I just want to remind all of us, including myself and Simba, it's not just about me doing something. What it's really about, and what we start with, is being. And the being with. It's not just about doing something, although that happens, but it's really about being with, and just being with ourselves, being with each other, being with our communities, being with the land. And once we, you know, I mean, for me, I go out in nature and I experience the world, and I can hear, you know, I can hear the woods, and I can hear the waters, and I can hear the mountains. And, you know, we can hear something both inside ourselves and what the world needs. So it's my little reminder for today, and I'll invite us into a practice. And, you know, I saw in our conversation last week that we were able to just open up a dialogue in a new way. It was actually, you know, not just me saying, and who wants to come in next? We built on each other's conversation. So I just encourage us to continue to move in the direction that needs to be moved in, but also to sit with what is coming up, you know, and that it may feel like an urge to just push it down. And that's okay, to just recognize what's there and to be with what's there. And I love, you know, again, what was shared by Mary Kay in the YouTube, understanding that we are part of the chaos. And even if we don't understand it, that we can feel it. And sometimes I just think about all of these tiny little atoms and molecules, that's all we are, you know, and they're all just kind of, you know, rushing around. So the chaos is kind of always happening. But that chaos, I think about a spinning top. You know, when you see a top that's spinning and you really spin it really fast, and it's spinning so much that it almost looks like it's not moving at all. And that's us. We're spinning so fast. All of our little atoms and molecules that make up who we are moving so fast that they make up this being, this who we are. So I'm just going to invite us to sit with that for a few moments here, and then we'll journal a little bit and move into conversation with each other. So we can just find a little seat. You can feel your feet on the ground or feel a connection. Just return to that space. You can lower your gaze or close your eyes, whichever is the most helpful to you. Sometimes I like to keep my eyes a little bit open and just soften the gaze. And I just want to call attention to that soft gaze, because it gives us, sometimes we're doing a visualization, we just want the eyes closed, but in this, sometimes it gives us a connection from the inner to the outer and the outer back in. And so that soft gaze is just letting the eyes get soft, feeling both being in the body and also a softened connection to the world around us. So perhaps you can sense the light coming in, or perhaps there are objects and you just soften your connection to those objects, or even the computer. So we're allowing the light or the softened objects to enter into the vision, but we're not focused on them. So we're recognizing that we're not separate. We're not separate, but we have a softened awareness. So we kind of play with an in-between of open awareness and focused attention. Open awareness and focused attention. And that space, that kind of flowing between open awareness and focused attention, that's really the space of presence. It's where we can fully let go of anything that's come before this moment and let come. So we have a focused attention maybe for a moment on something, and then we soften, we let that go, and we have an open awareness again. So a focused attention. And in a meditation, we might say a cloud, something that passes by. We focus on it for a moment, a thought comes in, we focus on it for a moment, and then open awareness, we let it go. So allowing what is to be here, focused awareness, and focused attention, and then open awareness. Being with whatever comes in, even the sound of my voice, for a moment, and then open awareness, space, softness. And as we sit here together, perhaps we feel the vibration, perhaps the vibration of our skin, the vibration of the blood flow in the body. Perhaps the vibration of a car or a plane or a train going by somewhere off in the distance. Perhaps the vibration of the trees rustling or the earth moving. And just for a moment, allowing yourself to play with that again, focused attention and open awareness. So if there's a sound or a sensation, allowing yourself to focus on it for a moment and then soften the gaze, soften the awareness, soften the attention, open awareness. Then for a moment, I'd like you to invite in something that feels chaotic, something that feels turbulent, maybe in your own life or in the news, and just allowing yourself to focus on it for a moment, applying focused attention. And allowing ourselves to just feel what comes up. And soften the gaze on that particular image or thought. Just soften the gaze, open awareness, just soft edges, just allowing it to still be there if it's there, allowing the feeling to be there if it's there. Just practicing focused attention and open awareness. Letting it rise up. There's a feeling, allowing it to move through. And then feeling the sense of the physical connection to the floor or to the chair. Just feeling that sense of groundedness, that as that moves up, as it moves through, that we're grounded. And also feeling the space directly above the head, the space we call sky. Feeling that sense of openness and expanse. And that our capacity for being human is a connection between earth and sky. And also this space around the heart. And perhaps there's a feeling there that doesn't have a name yet, just being with that sensation. And when you're ready, you can return your connection to the screen. And perhaps if you have a journal or a pen and paper nearby, you can just jot down a few thoughts. I won't go too deeply into our journaling tiny practice today, but just jot down any thoughts that may have come up. Perhaps there was something specific that arose for you around this, feeling of chaos, or sitting with something in particular and just jotting it down. And perhaps there's some emotion or some thought that arose with that of, oh, I have this. Oh, here it is. Or, oh, this is how I react when that comes up. because that can be just as helpful to see, oh, this comes up and I just want to shut down. So just noticing what came up and jotting it down just to give us another level of awareness. And when you're ready, you can take a breath and we will turn to each other in small groups. And the invitation is to introduce yourself, share your name and where you're coming from, and really listening to each other from a place of, even if you've seen this person time and again, even if you've seen this person week after week, you happen to be bumped into the same breakout group, we're going to apply the same principle, that we're going to soften our gaze and open to the possibility of the nowness of this being. We don't know what they went through this past week or what they had for breakfast this morning, let alone all of the other life experiences. And so this, we're just going to treat it as completely new, fresh, open mind, open heart, open will, and we will share with each other. You can share, if there's something specific that's coming up for you around chaos, or something that you're sitting with that you want to share. I wouldn't share the number 10 thing, if you're on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe let's keep it between 3 and 7 or something. But just sitting with it, sometimes it's helpful to just share in the space what's coming up for you and what feeling you're working with. So what feeling is moving through. It doesn't mean that we need to put those feelings on that person. Even though it's nice when we get the happy feelings like, Bianca, I'm so happy to see you. But also when it's like the other one, sad and angry, it's not as fun. So we're just going to invite a sharing of, Bianca, there was such a happiness, such a joy that came through for me when you arrived. It's very different experience. So we're just going to share that with each other in a way that allows us to see it with the focused attention for that moment and an open awareness to letting it move through and move to the next person. So that's our practice today. And we'll be back in 20 minutes. So enjoy the time together and we'll see you back in 20. And for